Act 4-6, Entrenched. This is a very difficult mission as well. And I like to play a little bit of a man test right now. And the man test in this sequence, to see if you're a true cog, is you do the fight with no grenades. Because if you use your grenades smartly here, you can eradicate each of the 3 lanes of enemies pretty quickly. A lot of them come from the centre more so, that's a ball tucker. But I like to do it just using the gun, and I don't recommend it too much because it is quite dangerous. And in the last video I was saying, you know, do everything you can to avoid the fight. Well, this is one of those rare moments where I'm going to contradict myself. A little bit of the fun cognitive dissonance as I mess up a reload, take a shot. Just because it's one of those moments where I don't know what it is. Since back in the day I used to do this. This really reminds me of the next-gen walkthroughs for this. Back in the day, before I started YouTube, there was a channel called Next-Gen Walkthroughs. It was a website. And they had a Gears of War 1 insane walkthrough on with commentary. It was commentated all the way back in like 2006, 2007, and it was a good walkthrough, and it was one of the inspiring motivators in making me want to do what I'm doing today. And if only I'd had the knowledge that I have now, back then I could have started a lot sooner, and maybe I'd be a lot further down the path. But, you know, we don't have a time machine, so you got to make the most with what you've got. But it is nice to reminisce back on, like, I watched a lot of Gears campaign before I even owned the game because I was so obsessed with it and I just wanted to play, and the closest I could get to playing it was of course watching the campaign. But once you've defended off the wine cellar, you have to go inside and trigger that cutscene, and then when you come back through here there's going to be a second spawn. There's going to be a lot of wretches, so punch them. There's also going to be, I think, 1 enemy coming up. But there is a spawn with a sniper down here. I think it's the sniper, and it's like a middle room that can be quite awkward to get into because you have to mantle into it. That's my kind of shit. That's the credit song, if you remember. The quote from the credits. So there's a spawn in that room as well of Wretch, and I remember it, but I might have already killed them because I'm not pushing up too closely. Same with this one. When you move far into this room, you're going to bump into something that shoots you. But now we have a snipper, so we can go in there and start snipping. Dom's blocking the doorway, always good for retreating. And I believe here, yeah, there it was. The Wretch and the guy screaming, and it sounds like he's got a shotgun too. Oh my god, the Wretch was close. Punch the Wretch. Punch it like a disobedient wife. Am I right, guys? No, you shouldn't do that. It's not cool. But the biggest problem with situations like this is not knowing where the enemy is. But luckily for us, he stuck his head out for some crazy reason. And I just missed it because I'm terrible, so take a shot. Wait for the weapon sway to stop after being shot and then take the head. And that's it now. So as you move out of here, we're going to be spawning different fights, but there's no more in the cellar. And if you remember, you can use a ton of grenades on that fight that I didn't, because up here is a breakable doorway that has 2 refills worth of grenades. So make sure you use these. The main reason I used them in the entrance fight of this area was because I knew that there was a refill there. But there's going to be a session with Wretches coming up in this room, and they make kind of a big deal about it. And if you stand in the middle of that room, it is quite tricky. But we're not going to do that. We're going to sit down here and we're going to beat them to death, because it's just the easiest possible way of doing it. Like, it saves you ammunition, they go down in 1, and they will consistently run at you in a very affordable manner. Which is why this is one of those rooms where you can have difficulty here if you play it wrong, but if you play it right, you'll never have trouble. Like, I can remember moments like this when I was younger where I used to have problems with the Wretches, but back in those days, I used to shoot them. And I think when you don't realise that punching them is so much easier and doesn't take any skill, and that it kills them in 1 hit, it changes how you look at this enemy. Like, do you remember that when you were a kid and you used to play a game and you used to play it so rigidly and so plainly that you didn't do any nuance? So you shot everything and you were always in cover and all that kind of stuff. Like, you played it as if it was prescribed to you rather than coming up with your own playstyle. I used to do that all the time, and I'll go back to games where I'm like, why do I want to do this? It doesn't seem like a good idea, and then I'll remember it's because that's the programming that I put in myself. But this is after the conversation with Baird. You want to go out to this balcony here because it gives you the opportunity to shoot at some people. Once again, guys, their accuracy is so good, you rarely get an opportunity to shoot without your aim being knocked, so either do it really quickly or wait for the first knock and shoot afterwards. And do not waste any ammunition on this boomer with his magic stick, because he is a programmed door opener. He is a breach charge that the Locust are employing. And when they blew up the door then, it rattled the screen and it affected my aim, which was kind. But the moment the door goes through, you want to come back here and start cleaning people up. You can chuck grenades, you can use your torque bow. Just be aware that Therons will come inside, and Therons are really strong. And also that Boomer's going to eventually turn up too, so get ready for him. But one torque round will put him down. I don't know what he's taking cover on right there, but I feel like it wasn't a good strategy. So put him down with a bullet, keep on moving to the centre. The AI are really good at navigating these staircases, and in a previous video that you didn't see because I trimmed that part out, I got rid of all the sofas with my Did you see that then? He did that thing. He did the thing that I slowed down in Act 4. I have it bang on his face, I go to fire, and he moves the moment I fire. He one frame dodged me. What a beast. That's the kind of AI that needs to go, that, guys. It really is. I've got no problem with him accidentally ducking or tripping up or something, but don't make it so the moment you fire, they just go, whoop. It's stupid. Here comes another guy with a hammer burst. The movement on mouse and keyboard in this game is definitely my biggest weakness. I'm so used to using controller with gears that my movement is not very good. Oh, that was not good. Same with the active reloads. You'll notice me fucking up a lot of active reloads, and I think it's the frame rate, I really do. And it sounds silly, doesn't it? Like the guy who's always talking about high frame rates being important, but when you have 10 years of timings of active reloads and then you play it at a higher frame rate and it's slightly different. I suppose I do sound like I'm blaming my tools there, don't I? Because it's 100% me, guys, but I've definitely noticed that on PC I struggled at first with the active reloads because the timing felt a bit weird to me. And it might just be my brain, it might be old age, it might be a few things, but it's definitely something I had to adjust to. But if you're thinking about it, guys, definitely do it because it's worth it. Did he survive that? It must have missed. They should not survive an active to the body. There you go, see what I mean? You don't live through that. This guy doesn't have a helmet on, so we can pop his head with his little Vin Diesel goggles. So that's the end of the first encounter. This is the dodgy spawn. So when you go to the left at the bottom of these stairs, it's going to bust the door open. And did I trigger it then? Oh, I triggered it then. Nice. This was a bad grenade too. Did you see that? That was a really unfortunate bowl? Was I going to say bowl then? I meant to say bounce. Yeah, a really unfortunate bounce. I am not Shane Ward, so there's no reason for me to do that. That was not a spin ball. I'm not trying to bowl England out. I just ended up getting wrecked for some reason. So now I have to waste bullets on this guy, and you guys have to take a shot for the missed shot. So sorry about that. And then we get this, the worst checkpoint in the game. So this is a really interesting room coming up, guys. On the Ultimate Edition, they put a checkpoint in here, and they made this section easy, which I love, because this section's garbage, and it's look-dependent and stupid, and you're about to play the dumbest game of Bulldog in video games you've ever played. But before you can do that, you have to kill these two guys and seal that hole. And then you have to unseal the doorway by shooting a propane tank, which is a nice throwback to Act 2. But these guys are doing whatever they do. How did I miss then? Wow. I asked myself the same question, guys, and I don't have an answer. But you have to do this every time, by the way, if you mess this next section up. Luckily for me, I got it first time, but it's frustrating, and I'll always remember the end of Act 4 because it's got this stupid section. So the idea is simple. You need to run past all the enemies and get to the vehicle. But to do that can be quite tricky. The biggest threats are the two boomers. Well, there's three technically, but the first two you can kill. The last one you want to avoid. Everybody else, it's up to them if they want to kill you. In this run that you're about to see, I actually do it late. Once you kill both the boomers, you want to start roadie running and getting to the exit because you'll have an easier time. If you wait like I do, you'll have more enemies fanned out and it becomes harder. But if I can do it waiting the way I'm about to show you, you can do it quickly. So as soon as you come out here, go into cover. The two boomers will fire at you, so get rid of one of them. And then load your round and get rid of the second one. And then once you do that, you want to book it. You want to start running now. And don't go into cover and wait around like I'm about to do. Just run. Just keep running. Ignore the hammerburst guy. Do not do this. Keep running. I go on the left-hand side. So, guy on the right. Guy directly in front of me. Half an omen. Jump over the wall. How am I not dead? I don't know. Get into cover. Dodge the boom. Get shot from behind. Still alive. Do a roll. Here's a cutscene. And here's the achievement proving it's insane. So, it looks stupid and crazy. And how did I live? I don't know. But that's what that section's about. It's really silly, but the more aggressive you are, the quicker you'll get it, and I wish you luck with it, because that's one of the parts of this walkthrough that doesn't take much skill. It's kind of frustrating. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.